Welcome everyone to English Today Journey. I am happy you are here. If you want to improve your English every day, remember to subscribe and stay with us. It becomes automatic. You'll find yourself catching meaning faster and noticing things you missed before. Listening at this level is not just about words. It's about patterns, rhythm, emotion, and context. Small habits, like listening to different accents, keeping up with even a little English on low-energy days, and summarizing mentally, build a strong foundation. Your brain starts to understand speed changes, stress, and pauses naturally. You don't need perfect comprehension immediately. What matters is consistent practice and paying attention to the music of the language. By training your ear to adapt, noticing subtle changes in speech, and keeping a steady routine, English begins to feel natural and familiar. You stop being surprised by new accents or fast speech. Instead, you enjoy discovering the flow and patterns of real English. This is what it means to reach a high listening level, and these small daily habits are what carry you there. Learning English well takes practice, patience, and smart strategies. One important thing to know is that at first, understanding everything you hear can feel hard. Your brain is trying to recognize words, sounds, and meaning all at once. At first, you need to focus very hard, but if you keep practicing, your brain will start doing it automatically. Over time, you'll be able to understand long talks or conversations without getting tired so quickly. This is how you develop strong listening comprehension, which is a skill many advanced learners forget to keep improving. One key part of learning that people often ignore is rest. Listening is not passive. Your brain is very busy while you listen. It's decoding hundreds of sounds, connecting them to meaning, and remembering new words all at once. After a period of focused listening, your brain needs a break. Take a short pause. Move your body, stretch, take a walk, or just breathe deeply. This gives your brain time to process and store the information you just learned. If you skip this, your progress will slow down because your brain has no time to organize the new knowledge. You can think of it like digestion. You cannot eat nonstop all day and expect your body to work properly. Similarly, your brain needs time to digest information so it can be stored correctly. As you improve, you may notice something interesting. Many English phrases do not mean exactly what the words say. For example, "It's not rocket science" does not talk about rockets. It means something is not difficult. "I'll take a rain check" does not mean rain is coming. It means the person will do something later. These are called idioms, and they are everywhere in natural English speech. Understanding idioms is very important because it helps you stop translating everything literally. You can practice idioms by watching short videos, reading conversations, or listening to dialogues where these expressions appear. Write them down, say them out loud, and try to use them in your own sentences. The more you use them, the more natural they will feel. Soon, when you hear these phrases again, you will understand them instantly. Memory is another big part of learning. It is normal to hear new words and forget them quickly. The brain does not keep things it doesn't use. This means that just hearing or reading new vocabulary is not enough. You need to recycle words and expressions to remember them. After listening, choose 3 or 4 new words or phrases and try to use them right away. You can write a short message using them, speak to yourself, or even make a small audio recording with these words. Each time you reuse a word, it moves from short-term memory to long-term memory. This is how vocabulary grows naturally without needing flashcards or feeling pressure. Here is another helpful tip. Before listening to something new, try to predict what you're going to hear. If you see a video or article titled "How to," think about the topics it might cover. This makes your brain ready to catch new words and ideas faster. Prediction is a simple trick that makes listening easier and improves your understanding. When you combine prediction, practice, rest, and recycling vocabulary, your listening skills will grow steadily. You will find that English starts to feel less like a puzzle and more like a conversation you can follow naturally. When you are learning English, one of the smartest things you can do before listening is to take a moment to think about the topic. For example, if you are about to listen to a video called How to Stay Healthy in Winter, spend 1 minute imagining the words you might hear. You could think of words like exercise, vitamins, sleep, or cold weather. Doing this helps your brain get ready. When you start listening, your brain will automatically pay attention to those words. This little preparation trick makes understanding easier and faster. You can try it with any topic you're learning. Thinking ahead is like giving your brain a map before a trip. It knows where to look. Another fun and effective way to improve listening is to combine it with writing. This is called note-taking practice. Listen to a short story, a podcast, or a conversation, and try to write down what you hear. You don't need to write every single word. Focus on the main ideas and important points. This forces you to listen carefully, pick out key information, and ignore words or sounds that don't matter. Later, you can check your notes against a transcript or subtitles. Any missing pieces show you exactly where your listening skills need more work. Over time, those gaps shrink, and you'll be able to follow most English conversations in real time without needing to stop or rewind. As your skills improve and you move closer to a high level like C1, start listening to more difficult materials. This could be debates, panel discussions, or academic talks. These contain longer sentences, more advanced vocabulary, and complex ideas. Don't worry if you don't understand everything at first. Instead, focus on the structure of the conversation. Notice how people agree or disagree, how they give examples, and how they build their point step by step. This type of listening is excellent practice for professional or academic situations because it builds mental stamina. You train your brain to follow fast, complicated ideas, even when it seems overwhelming. It's also important to remember why you are learning English in the first place. English is not only for exams, school, or work. It is a tool to connect with people, understand stories, and explore ideas beyond your own culture or language. Every time you listen, you open a small window into another world. That experience is rewarding and inspiring. So, don't rush or pressure yourself to understand everything immediately. Let the language come naturally. Over time, you will notice a remarkable change. You will no longer feel like you are chasing English. Instead, it will feel like you are walking alongside it, understanding it as it flows. When you listen often enough, you start to notice that English is not just words and grammar. There is emotion in the way people speak. There is rhythm, small pauses, and subtle emphasis that carry meaning. Sometimes, silence can tell you more than words. You may hear someone start a sentence, pause halfway, take a breath, and continue in a way that changes the meaning completely. These small details make real English conversations rich and alive. Paying attention to them helps you understand not only the content, but also the feeling behind the words. This is a higher level of listening that many learners miss, but it is one of the most satisfying skills to develop. By practicing these strategies, thinking ahead, note-taking, listening to advanced materials, and noticing rhythm and pauses, you will gradually transform your listening skills. English will start to feel natural, like a world you can explore comfortably. Each small step adds up, and eventually, you will find yourself enjoying conversations, understanding stories, and connecting with people without struggling to catch every single word. When you listen to English at an advanced level, it's not just about understanding words. It's also about noticing the emotions behind those words. Sometimes a small pause in speech tells you a lot about how someone feels. They might be uncertain, thoughtful, sad, or excited. Learning to recognize these quiet signals is part of advanced listening, and it's one thing that separates C1 learners from intermediate learners. People at higher levels don't just hear the words, they feel the meaning behind them. Think about it like this. When a friend talks to you in your native language, you don't only listen to what they say. You can sense if they are nervous, joking, annoyed, or excited without them saying it directly. That's exactly the skill you want to develop in English, too. Reaching this deeper understanding takes time and practice, but it makes your English sound more natural. Your conversations will feel more real and more connected to what the other person is actually expressing. One way to practice this skill is to listen to interviews or podcasts where people share personal experiences. They might talk about their life stories, memories, or challenges they faced. These recordings carry emotion in the voice, and that gives you a chance to train your ears. As you listen, ask yourself questions like, what is their feeling right now? Are they happy, proud, regretful, or shy? Notice changes in tone, speed, and pitch. For example, when the speaker's voice gets lower, they might be serious. When it rises, they could be excited, surprised, or uncertain. You can even close your eyes while listening to focus only on the emotions in their voice, rather than the words themselves. Many people think that to become fluent in English, you need to live in an English-speaking country. But that is no longer true. You can create an English environment anywhere. What matters most is how you use your time and the tools you have. Surround yourself with English through your phone, playlists, social media, movies, or TV shows. When your brain gets used to hearing English every day, it starts thinking in English. Gradually, the line between your native language and English begins to fade. This is how real fluency develops, not by location, but through consistent exposure and practice. You can also make listening more interactive. Don't just passively hear what people say, respond to it. Even if no one can hear you, pause a video or audio clip and say your own opinion aloud. Pretend you are talking to the person. This trains your brain to process language actively and improves your speaking and listening at the same time. You can summarize what you heard, answer questions about it, or explain your thoughts about the topic. Doing this repeatedly helps your memory, pronunciation, and overall understanding of natural English. By noticing emotion, practicing active listening, creating an English-rich environment, and interacting with what you hear, you gradually develop advanced listening skills. You start to understand more than just words. You catch feelings, intentions, and subtle meanings. This is what makes English real and alive. Over time, listening will feel less like decoding and more like connecting with another person. You will begin to feel English as a living language, full of rhythm, emotion, and meaning, rather than just a set of rules and vocabulary. A simple but powerful way to improve your listening is to respond aloud to what you hear. Even if no one is listening, speaking your thoughts trains both your brain and your mouth to process English at the same time. For example, if someone says, "I think social media is good for communication," you could reply aloud, "I agree, but it also wastes time." It might feel small, but this practice is very effective. You stop being a passive learner who only listens and start being a communicator who reacts, explains, and thinks in English. This small habit builds confidence, sharpens your listening, and prepares your brain to respond naturally in real conversations. Another habit that makes a big difference is repetition. The brain loves repetition because it helps store information in long-term memory, but it can get bored if you repeat the same thing too many times at once. The secret is meaningful repetition. Instead of listening to the same audio 10 times in one day, listen once today, once tomorrow, and then again next week. Each time you return to it, your brain understands it a little deeper. Old memories connect with new understanding, and your ability to listen improves without feeling tiring or boring. This is how deep, lasting listening skills develop. Something that surprises many learners is that reading also helps listening. When you read, your brain builds a mental map of words and how they are used. You see how words are combined in phrases, which helps you recognize them faster when you hear them. If you only listen without reading, you might miss certain word forms or collocations. A great method is to listen first, then read a transcript of the audio or a short article about the same topic. You'll be surprised how much easier it becomes to understand English naturally after combining listening and reading. Many people think they don't have enough time to practice listening. The truth is, you don't need